Karbala, ay 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 Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन। इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन।
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside Shiza Hashmi and Shazad Khan.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we are observing the 10th of Moharram, and which is also called Yom Ashura as we all know it. And this day specifically holds a very great importance in the history of our religion, but also in the history of world. So just for the basics, let me start by telling you that on this day, on the 10th of Moharram, on Yom Ashura, this was the day when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam's repentance was accepted by Allah. And this was the, now this is all that I'm telling you, it's written in a reference in some of the historical books and literature, and thus I'm sharing, and this was the day when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was unified with Hawa as well. Now, this was the exact day when Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam along with his ummah was saved, his ark was saved by Allah. This was the day when Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam was saved from a fish stomach by Allah. This was the day when Hazrat Yusuf was reunited with his father after months and years of, being away from him. And this was also the day when Hazrat Musa won a victory over Pharaoh. This was also by Allah as well. And ladies and gentlemen, most importantly in our religion, this is the day when we remember the sacrifices which were laid by the beloved grandson of our last prophet, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was Hazrat Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
It is indeed correct, and thank you very much, Shiza, to add this to everybody else's information as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, as Shiza very rightly said, that it holds great importance in Islamic history. But other than that, I think it holds great importance for the entire world.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying that is that that the message of sacrifice which was given, or the message which was actually deliberately given to the entire Muslim Ummah or to everybody elsewhere residing within this world, was to actually stand against people who actually put down their foot on you as well. And then there's this. And it has become a part of our society too as well. Very regretfully, I have to say that there are a lot of people who think that they are in charge, and then they try to put their terms on, or probably put certain other allegations onto other people where they really do not have any chance to probably make sure that they're not the ones to go through all of that as well, through pain, through agony, and all of these things.
Very rightly said, Shazad. Oppression is not the answer to everything. That is what we are discussing today. This day marks, let's say, sacrifice, gives a message of sacrifice, tolerance, patience, and so many other things that we are discussing today.
Exactly. And then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, Moharram al-Haram actually marks the very first month of the Islamic calendar too as well. And Muslim Ummah all around the globe, I think they come up with, every year they come up with new year resolutions as well, which help them to actually solve problems within their own lives. But as a matter of fact, a lot of times we, the newer generations, as we say that there are generation gaps, we kind of do not really relate with the history of Karbala ourselves as well, because we tend to forget as humans and we do make mistakes. So today what we have planned for you is that we're definitely going to talk about the historical impact, and then at the same time we're going to talk about the messages, or the message of sacrifice, which is going to be there with us till eternity.
Definitely.
I think is the one which we need to discuss. And there's, I think, this point where we actually misled because of the fact that we never kept on revising it, we never dug into it, we never did our own research, and then at the same time we are going to ask them the importance of this day.
Yeah, that's true.
So on my right hand side, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have been joined by, on my right hand side, starting from my right hand side, very sorry for that, Sajada Nasheen, Mora Sharif, and he's a religious scholar as well, Peer Mujtaba Gul Bacha Sahab. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Our
Thank you
pleasure,
very much for
absolutely,
being
sir.
with us. Alongside Peer Mujtaba Gul Bacha Sahab, we have been joined by somebody who is the Juris Council, Federal Sharia Court, Dr. Muhammad Aslam Khaki. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting
And
us.
last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Nath Khan too as well, and his name is Sayyid Andalib Rizvi. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for joining us.
So before we dig into the history and the messages that are, conveyed to everyone around the world on this day, I want to start with Mr. Mujtaba over here. Please highlight the importance of Yom Ashura. Being Muslims, I think it is a part of our belief that even the day of judgment will fall on Yom Ashura, the 10th of Muharram on Friday. And as I said earlier, that not only for Muslims, this day is important for all other religions as well. So just please shed some light on the importance of this day.
As we all know that the day of Ashura, it's very important, and especially for Muslims, because we believe that the day of judgment is going to come on Ashura.
Right.
But for non-Muslims, I think the day of Ashura is also very important because Imam Hussain and his companions, they sacrificed their life for justice to save humanity, not to save Muslims, but to save all the communities, to stand up for their rights, to stand up for against oppression, against cruelty. So I think Imam Hussain and his companions, they are loved by not only by Muslims but also by non-Muslims, by Jewish, from Christianity, from all over the world. They are going and they are loved by them.
Okay. So let's start with, before I move on to Dr. Sab over here, I want you to sort of build up the history that went on in this specific fight of Karbala on the 10th of Muharram.
Well, there are many important historical facts, but most important fact is that Yazid government, his dynasty, they were torturing the people. They were not giving their rights. They were oppressing people, and they were violating the laws of Islam.
Taking laws in their own hand, basically.
And they were killing people, and not only the government higher-ups, but also we have read in the books that corruption, injustice, cruelty, oppression, this was the part of the government. Secondly, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they have stated in many, we have read in many books, the sayings of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which they clearly said that how my son Hussein, he will be martyred, where he will be martyred. And Jibreel Amin alayhi salam, he gave the soil of that land, Karbala, to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and later our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they give that soil to his beloved wife, Hazrat Bibi Salma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told all the consequences, all the facts that how this
is going to happen. Right.
Wow. But then at the same time, I want you to share it with all our viewers out there as well. That what does Karbala actually marks in our minds too as well? I think this is something which is very important for the younger generations to know.
Karbala, it marks in our mind that we have to stand up for our rights, and we have to identify the right direction, the right path, and we have to mark that what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad, and we have to stand up against oppression, against cruelty, against injustice. Secondly, it identifies that on which path, on which direction we are following. Either we are following the right path or the wrong path. Either we are standing with pious, virtuous people or with the wicked, evil people.
Right.
So, and lastly, I'm going to tell that Karbala marks in our mind the greatest sacrifices of Imam Hussain and his companions. They sacrificed to save humanity, to save Islam, to save the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's true.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. But moving on to Dr. Saab. Now, Dr. Saab, I want you to shed light on all of these issues which were being highlighted by Peer Saab as well. That we have to take decisions whether we are standing in the right lane or not, whether we are with the right people, whether we are with the pious people. But over here in today's world, what has happened is that there are so many school of thoughts, there's so many other problems within our own community, and I think that we've even forgotten the sacrifices which everybody made.
Everyone's their own scholar now.
So where are we right now?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to explain it that the Karbala tragedy is one which is the greatest tragedy in the Muslim history at least.
Indeed.
And it is not a history which just gets buried after some time. There may be many tragedies which involve thousands of lives in that tragedy, but that is just forgotten after 50 years, 100 years, then it is on in the books. But this tragedy and the martyrdom which has been just set there is a live history and is alive. it is live in the minds of the people, it is live in the history, and it is live even in the streets, in the houses as well.
Indeed.
That's why we are celebrating this tragedy even after 1400 years. So this is a set that this history is not a history, it is a life as well. History is which is forgotten past. It is neither past, or we can say it is past, it is present and the future till the time of the hereafter or dawn of the hereafter. We believe that in this way the people would be celebrating, rather mourning this tragedy in many ways.
Right.
That is but just by telling the facts which just gave the rise or which arose for this tragedy, as my learned friend has explained. And the mission is more important than the history. So this mission was, as it is just explained, that at that time the background was that Yazid was just claiming his caliphate after the death of his father on the basis of dynasty.
Right.
So which is against the basic principle of Shura,
Finality
which
of
you can say democracy in this era. So the paradigm of the Shura, which was the paradigm of the government and the state set by Quran, by the Sunnah, were being shifted to the paradigm of the dynasty.
Okay.
Against that basic, the problem was because it is the type of the government which just involve the rights of the people. If there is monarchy, dynasty, then the rights of the people are eliminated or they are curbed. So the basic thing was just to put that paradigm into the basic paradigm or the earlier paradigm of the Shura, that is the Mushawarat, and just as Quran says, وَأَمْرَهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ. So that was the basic concept. When Yazid was confronted with this situation and he was asked, and then being a dynasty person or a monarchy person, he committed many other evils which just infringed the rights of the people, basic rights of the people, that is go against the justice. Because Quran and the religion has come to give justice to the people. لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ لِيَقُومُ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. That we have sent the apostles, that is the prophets, the book and the balance, so that the society gets established on the pedestal of justice. And justice means that adl, إِعْطَاءُ كُلَّ ذِي حَقٍّ حَقَّهُ, that giving the rights to the people is the justice. So those rights were being infringed by the Yazid and his officials there. So Imam Hussain giving a message to Yazid even and to his officials that they should not commit such type of rights and should hold consultation for his election. He should go for election, and if he is just approved and accepted by the people, that's okay. I don't claim that, but he was just deviating from this situation. So Imam Hussain then came up, and he came up to change this paradigm or to bring that paradigm back to Shura. And for that he felt that the environment of that situation of that area is not suitable for the encounter. So he shifted on the invitation of Kufin to Kufa.
Right,
but on the way, as we see that he was encountered by the army of Yazid and the Ziyad. So that encounter was there and he was martyred. And it is also on the record because he went for the peace, and peace is not possible without justice. As it is said that, and or the peace is not possible with oppression, that there is zulm oppression and the peace is there. Zulm amr bhi ho or zulm bhi ho, kya mumkin hai, tum hi kaho, as it is said. So these two things cannot go. So he opted, just first given the option for negotiation, which was not accepted. Then he was confronted and they took their part and they played the role which Allah Almighty has suggested for them.
That's right, Dr. Saab. As he's rightly said. So on the 2nd of Muharram, Hazrat Imam Hussain along with 72 other companions had reached Karbala and then started establishing their tents over there. And let me mention, their first priority, their first agenda was political negotiations, ladies and gentlemen. The plan or the agenda was not a war. So later on, as things were not turning in their favor, of course, there was a war indeed, and everything ended on the 10th of Muharram. And this was the day when all the shahadats were happening. So after 72 people were martyred, the women were left alone to mourn for their, loved ones, of course, and then taken into custody. We'll come to that later on. But this question is for both of you. A war for the purpose of peace. What does this teach us?
Well, a war for purpose of peace, it teaches us that how we have to save humanity, how we have to stand up for our rights. And like Imam Hussain, when he started his journey from Medina, he went to Makkah to offer Hajj privilege, but he was forced, and he was by the governor of Makkah either to take oath, to take bath,
Right.
or he was told that he's going to be martyred. So I think Hazrat Imam Hussain, he said that this land of Makkah is the holiest land,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to martyr the innocent people. So his basic his right was that he was not going for war,
Yeah.
because he had his 6 months old
Son
younger
with
son,
him, yes.
Hazrat
Hazrat
Ali
Ali
Asghar
Asghar.
Razi Allah Ta'ala.
Yes.
He had women with him, he
Right.
had his daughter with him, he had his sister with him, he had nephews with him.
Right, right,
So
absolutely.
the message was that we have to stand for our rights, and we have to stand against injustice, against cruelty, against illegitimate government.
Right. Moving on to you, Dr. Saab,
Do you want to add on to this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally, though usually it is said that the holy Hazrat Imam, he marched and claimed the caliphate on the basis of being the grandson of the Holy Prophet. But I would say that his claim was not based qua grandson, rather qua entitlement and his merit, even if he has claimed it. Because he was born and reared in the family of the Holy Prophet. Whatever he learned directly from the Holy
Yeah,
Prophet,
yeah.
saw him doing the things in the flesh.
Absolutely,
So he
yes.
felt, obviously, even if he claimed that I am the grandson, not because I am the grandson by blood, but because I am reared in that environment and
Right.
experience with the Holy Prophet ﷺ and his family. So I am maybe in a best position to explain and learn the nature of the Islamic injunctions and the caliphate and how to do that. That may be his reason, but not qua grandson. Because how can he say that, or how can he claim on the basis of dynasty when he himself is just opposing the dynasty
Right,
of Yazid?
right.
So it should be made clear that
Yeah.
in both ways, the basic thing was his entitlement and competence and a high merit for that position. And then again, in that sense, as we say, that they sacrificed their life. Basically, they opted for the peace. Even in Quran says that when you are in war with the other people, فَإِنْ جَنَحُوا لِلسَّلْمِ فَجْنَحْ لَهَا. If they come to the peace, you should also come to the
Yeah.
peace. He negotiated for peace, that we should settle these issues peacefully and
Right.
should bring back the paradigm of the Shura, of that the Shura. He should naturally he would have offered them that you should hold a consultation, as it is the basic of the Islamic State. To which they refuse. They say, because we have taken over the state, so we are there, right is might. Their
Right.
principle was right is might. But the principle of the Holy Hazrat and the Islam is right, not right is
Not
might
might
or
is
might
right,
is
yeah.
right. Both are just opposite to
Opposite.
that, but all that.
Well, I'm very sorry that I'll have to pause you over here, but we, ladies and gentlemen, have to head out for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and the conversation is going to continue.
ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन, इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today on the 10th of Moharram, we are talking about the sacrifices that were made to save humanity, to save our religion. And Dr. Sabur here was actually saying something. Please go on.
Thank you. What we were just saying was that what was the mission of the Holy Hazrat Imam Hussain while traveling to Kufa from Medina.
Right.
So in that way, when he stopped at Mecca, he also just gave a gesture, rather a negotiation for gesture for the negotiation, which was not accepted there because they were in the power, and on the that right is might and might is right, both principles the same result. Then he moved to Kufa because he was invited for Kufa. Practically, if I see it, that the basic purpose of Imam was the migration from the unavoidable or from the unpleasant environment to the pleasant environment.
Right.
As the Holy Prophet himself, he went for the migration from Mecca to Medina. He was just following footsteps of, basically he was going for migration,
Okay.
not for war, not for direct conflict. But on the way he was encountered and interfered, or rather intervention was there by the army of the Yazid. So that time then he was just taken there, and then there were again negotiation. He just sent a message for negotiation, rather he said, take me to Yazid, I am ready to just present my mission or my issues before him. But he was not given that opportunity, and it came to the conflict. The fight or the battle was one way, otherwise I would say it was not a battle in the fact, but it was an attack from the army of the Yazid on the family, or on the family of the holy Imam Hussein, because fight is between the two equal strengths.
Right.
It was one way. It was rather, I would say, an attack. So they were not in a position to just encounter that, because how can you encounter when
72
you have
people against more than 7 lakh?
And that 72 mostly with the women and with the 6 months son.
Right.
How can you expect the encounter of that? They were, at the most you can say that they were at the defense line. They were defensive. Even sometimes it is said that the war is necessary sometime for the peace. That's why Quran says, al fitnatu ashaddu min al qatl, that killing is better than the fitna, that you can kill the people who are just going for terrorism or for fitna or just violation of the human rights. Even if the holy Imam had the power, then he would have come for the same, for negotiation, and after power, if he had a power to encounter, then naturally he would have gone with a full power war and not one way traffic.
And we definitely want to move forward with the messages we get from Hazrat Imam Hussein's life as well. But before we do that, since we've been joined by Mr. Andaleeb over here, so he's going to share a noha with all of us as well. So Mr. Andaleeb Sahab, क्या सुना रहे हैं आप?
सर नोहा हज़रत सकीना सलामुल्लाह अलैहा के बारे में.
Sure, go ahead.
जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा, जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा, सर जिंदा की दीवारों से, सर जिंदा की दीवारों से टकराती है बाबा, जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा, जब तक तेरे सीने से न लग जाए सकीना, जब तक तेरे सीने से न लग जाए सकीना, जिंदा में इसे नींद कहाँ आती है बाबा, जिंदा में इसे नींद कहाँ आती है बाबा, मर जाऊंगी प्यासी ना कभी मांगूंगी पानी, मर जाऊंगी प्यासी ना कभी मांगूंगी पानी, असगर की मुझे प्यास जो याद आती है बाबा, असगर कि मुझे प्यास जो याद आती है बाबा, जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा, दरबार यजीदी में भला कैसे मैं जाऊं, दरबार यजीदी में भला कैसे मैं जाऊं, है चाक गिरेबां हया आती है बाबा, है चाक गिरेबां हया आती है बाबा, जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा। है कौन मेरे पास जीऊं किसके सहारे, है कौन मेरे पास जीऊं किसके सहारे। तन्हाई मेरी मौत बनी जाती है बाबा, तन्हाई मेरी मौत बनी जाती है बाबा। सर जिंदा की दीवारों से, सर जिंदा की दीवारों से टकराती है बाबा। जब याद सकीना को तेरी आती है बाबा।
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're headed out for a short break. Stay tuned for more because there's a lot that we're going to discuss about the 10th of Moharram. Good morning and stay tuned.
Ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन। इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन।
Ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन। इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन।
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you're definitely watching World this morning. And today, we are definitely paying rich tribute to all of the sacrifices made in the tragedy of Karbala as well, to Hazrat Imam Hussain, to Hazrat Imam Hassan Raziyallahu anhu as well.
And his companions as well.
Yes, his companions as well, everybody, and to the entire Muslim Ummah as well. But
Yeah, so-
before moving on towards the break, there was just one thing which I wanted to ask yourself as well, and that was that what messages do we learn or do we get from the life of Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu anhu as well?
Well, definitely Hazrat Imam Hussein's life is an inspiration for all mankind.
Indeed.
Not only for Muslims, but also for non-Muslims, because he has sacrificed not only his life, but also his family members, his companions, including his sons, his nephew, to save humanity, to save the true teachings of Islam, that is justice, tolerance, peace in
Right.
the society, that is. And Imam Hussain, as we all know, that he was raised from his childhood by the greatest of all mankind, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he has learned the generosity, the wisdom, and peace and tolerance, justice, equality from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and from his father, Sher-e Khuda, Hazrat Ali Karamallah Wajhul Kareem. He has learned the bravery, the courage. So the message which we learned is that we should stand up against the cruelty, against the illegitimate government, and we should stand up for our own rights. And the best way to stand up is by negotiation.
Of course.
And if negotiations are not possible, then we can sacrifice our life for a greater cause to save humanity.
Okay, now Dr. Saab, before you add on to that, I definitely want you to. Before the break, Mr. Andalib over here was reciting Anoha, and he was talking about Hazrat Sakina over here. And when we discussed that, the sacrifices made to save humanity and religion, it was not only Hazrat Imam Hussain, as we've mentioned, excuse me, it was a lot of family members along with him as well. Now look at the intensity of this. The kids, Hazrat Ali Asghar, 6 months of age. Hazrat Ali Akbar, 18 years of age. Hazrat Imam Hussein's nephews, Hazrat Zainab's daughter, as we know, On and Muhammad, 9 and 10 years of age. Hazrat Imam Hassan's son, 13 years of age. Now, such a big heart, you know, to take your family along on such a war. Of course, he didn't know it was going to be a war. But he is definitely clearly preaching a message of tolerance all across the world, sacrificing the closest things to them and still, you know, standing in line fighting against what he thought was wrong.
Yeah. The message and the procedure adopted by the Holy Hussein was just a message and a lesson for us that first of all, if you are in a society of oppression, zulm ke muashare mein, you should raise your voice there and put up your mission to the people, to the people living there and to the high-ups or the official or the rulers. First step, if they do not take it up, then you invite the people there, and if they do not respond, then migrate from that situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Basically, I would see that it was a point of migration from the difficult circumstances or from the infertile land to the fertile land, as he was invited by the Kufis there, Ahl Kufa. So basically, it was a migration, I would say. Had it been a war or intention of war, as you said, then the family would have not been there. There would be warriors and the young people with him. So he was migrating as the Holy Prophet migrated from one situation to the other. But the Kufis, they just deceived them, and they didn't stand up with him even when they knew that the Holy Hussein is there in the Karbala. So then he again delivered the message of the peace by negotiation, asking for negotiation which he was encountered. So then he sacrificed his life to prove that he was sincere in his. That's why the word shaheed is used. Shaheed is from the word shahada or shahida. It means the evidence, as we say that shahid means the evidence. So a shaheed is called as a shaheed because he proves the evidence, gives the shahadat or the proof that he was sincere in his mission by sacrificing his life. Because nobody, if he is not sincere in his mission, would sacrifice his life. So that was another message. And then in that message, when Quran says, as I said, that it was a live tragedy, that it continues that.
Right.
And it is also for all the other martyrs, when Quran says, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ يُقْتَلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتٍ. Don't say them that they are dead. It doesn't mean that they are dead, not physically, but they're dead in a virtual sense. بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. Ahya does not mean that they are physically present here.
Right.
Ahya means their mission is alive. When their mission is alive, they are alive.
It lives
through
on.
mission. And that is, they are far better than the people who are physically alive but no mission, and they are just bodies, live bodies carrying it. To Walakillah Tasharun, and they are with their Prophet. And their mission is there. That's why every year we just celebrate that. We celebrate their mission more than mourning. So that is the focus of that. And over and above that, we see that this mission and this strategy, it was a strategy that how to propagate your mission. Not directly going for the conflict, but giving the chance to the opponent people. So here we say that same case with when the Holy Prophet ﷺ, his lost son was just went to Allah Almighty, and he was no more with him, and he was in very much grief. So the surah came, Inna atayna kal Kawsar, fasalli rabbika wanhar, inna shat. So Kawsar means that we have given you the alternate. That is your Sahaba, your mission is there. So you would never be Abtar. Abtar means that whose memory or whose lineage is just cut off. We said, your lineage is not on the basis of your blood, but on the basis of your mission. Indeed. So the mission would continue.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us too, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely have to head out for a short break. We'll be right back, and when we guys are going to come back, we're actually going to relate it with what's happening in today's world, where we talk about inequality, where we talk about injustices which are still prevalent within our society. How do we get rid of them, keeping them as an example? Let's do that. Good morning.
Stay tuned.
Ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन, इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन.
Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन, इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन.
Welcome back to this special transmission of 10th Moharram of World this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Mr. Andalib over here has been replaced by two of the sisters who are both Naat Khwan, and today they're going to recite something beautiful for us. We have been joined by Sadaf Gul and along with her Muqaddas Tariq. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for being here. Now, just before we were leaving for the break, we were asking our guests, Dr. Saab over here and Mr. Mujtaba over here as well, how those practices still prevail in today's society. And I think before we move on to that, I want to discuss one thing, that the concept of Sham-e-Ghariba is also a part of the 10th of Muharram, Ashura as well. It's called Sham-e-Ghariba because this was the time when all the women were left unattended because of, obviously, the men were martyred by the occupiers and by the violators. They were left alone. They had to spend the night alone in Karbala, and the next day they were taken away. Of course, they were taken into custody, some very young ones, mothers as well, sisters and everyone, taken into custody, and then they were obviously violated of their own rights to their lives and everything, which is why we're observing this day. We pay a rich tribute to all of them. But back to our question, starting with you, Peer Saab.
Today we can follow the footsteps of Imam Hussain by his saying, a man like me can never give allegiance to a man like him. Not only me, but a man like me, whoever follows the teaching of Islam, the teachings of and true principles of humanity, justice, tolerance, can never give a hand in a hand of cruel oppressor. So I think the message is very clear and loud.
Absolutely.
That we should stand for our rights and we should help poor and help others. And this is what we have seen, the generosity, the example of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and his companions.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, the same mission which I observe and see is that the mission of the Holy Imam was that we should not be the spectator to the injustices in the society. Rather, we should notice it and raise the voice for that, because it is the mandatory for by Quran and by Islam, al-amru bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar, that we should stand for the good things and stand against the evils.
Right.
Yes.
So he just acted upon that duty, which is the individual as well as the state duty. So the second was that we should just gather the people around us to join the hand for raising this voice against the evil, injustice. So if you don't find that the environment is there, the third step and the third is that you should migrate to a favorable condition which he migrated. And in all these stages, he was just giving the peace message, peaceful negotiation and tolerance. He tolerated at the risk of his life and his family life. You can see he didn't react to that.
Right.
So that is a message of peace, and we say that a message of tolerance for the youth, that they should not react even at the first stage.
Thank you very much for being with us. It was lovely to have been in conversation with you on such a day as well. And ladies and gentlemen, before we move on towards Mankabat as well, we would love to wrap up the show as well. Please write to us if there's anything you want to ask. Please write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of
World This Morning.
On Twitter.
World This Morning without a G.
On Daily Motion and YouTube.
World This Morning.
And the repeat's going to be at
11:05 in the night.
Thank you
Also,
very
before
much
we
for
move
being
on to the Mankabat, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, please be peaceful in however you choose to observe this day or these practices as well.
क्या सुनाएंगे आप?
मैं आपको सुजो सलाम.
So,
Ji, please go ahead.
तड़प उठता है दिल, लफ्जों में दोहराई नहीं जाती, ज़ुबां पर करबला की दास्तां लाई नहीं जाती, तड़प उठता है दिल. हुसैन बेने अली के गम में हूँ दुनिया से बे हजूमे खुल्क में भी मेरी तन्हाई नहीं जाती, ज़बां पर करबला की दास्तां लाई नहीं जाती, तड़प उठता है दिल, उदासी छा रही है रूह पर शामे गरीबा की, उदासी छा रही है रूह पर शामे गरीबा की, तबीयत है कि बहलाने से बहलाई नहीं जाती, ज़बां पर करबला की दास्तां लाई नहीं जाती, तड़प उठता है दिल, नसीरा की अदावत के भी कुछ आदाब होते हैं, नसीरा की अदावत के भी कुछ आदाब होते हैं, किसी बीमार को जंजीर पहनाई नहीं जाती, किसी बीमार को जंजीर पहनाई नहीं जाती, ज़बां पर करबला की दास्तां लाई नहीं जाती, तड़प उठता है दिल, लफ्ज़ों में दोहराई नहीं जाती, ज़बां पर करबला की दास्तां लाई नहीं जाती।
ay Karbala, ay Karbala, ay Karbala.
यासिर मुसलमान के प्यारे हैं हुसैन, चरखे नौए बशर के तारे हैं हुसैन, इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हैं हुसैन।